Someone's got himself in trouble.
I don't see your master here, so you can start by giving us all the coppers in your purse.
I already told you, I have nothing.
Then maybe we'll take that pretty outfit and the steel you're wearing.
Please! These men are trying to rob me!
I'll deal with this.
Thank you.
You that one's master, then? If you'd kindly pay the coin he owes us.
Or you can go back to your garrison and...
Oh, you're more. He hasn't had many visitors.
I'd expect as much from Hugo's faithful, but...
Much has changed, and
You've seen this kind of...
many times.
You're one of Rutherford's men. He sent me to look for you.
Well, then you have my thanks. I arrived in Dalimil several days ago, but when his men confiscated my...
The captain is no more.
Fortunately, I was able to
What of the Fist's central command? Surely they wouldn't allow such lawlessness among...
I would imagine they are unaware of it. Most of the army has fallen back to those who weren't recalled, now rule the fringes
Then it's worse than we imagined. You should return to Rosaria.
I'll find... you won't mind if...
Not at all. Now, if he was bound for Oriflamme... This might take a while. Old he may be, but it looks like there's still plenty of fight in him yet.
Over here!
sooner it's off my hands, the better.
Faster! Got company! Come on, lads, let's tear the bastard's head off!
This must be Ignac's luggage. Nothing seems to be damaged. All right.
I hear it. Watch it. Well, it and they eat this. But take it and.
Thank you.
Too many to count, but only one do I consider my nemesis, and is a perennial. Farewell, Wyvern. May our paths cross again. Radim, we mustn't daunt.
I think his lordship is rather taken with you, Master. Coming, my lordship.
Trust Uncle Byron to find such an interest now. Let's see what Blackthorn makes. There's a lot of road between here and the capital. Rutherford's mate. be anywhere. What?
If you're with, they've already.
I'm not.
Then I'm Alistair Rockford.
Of the Seven High House. It's been... Is she well?
My Lord Marquis? I was on my way back from the old capital.
Bandits.
They looked more... It didn't matter in the end. I did...
Which way did they go?
South.
All right. You head back to Northreach.
Thank you.
They just couldn't resist, could they?
This one's ours, pretty boy.
Make for the town while you can.
You don't? This looks to be all...
I thought I'd...
And stand by as ill.
It's just Clark, which is more than gonna be...
I will survive.
Strange that the garrison wouldn't intervene in...
The garrison have their hands full inside the city. There are few hands left to work the fields. And even the market stalls. When I said the ones who attacked me didn't have the look of bandit.
Rockford, if you are to continue your you first need to seek the...
I shall return to North, but allow me to thank you first.
Don't thank me. Thank Rutherford.
I suppose he'll be wondering. I shall send a Pistolus as soon as I'm able.
My uncle certainly has his work cut out for him. I should go and tell... Rutherford that his colleague... I see you're still here.
The Rest's location affords a constant flow of traders, and with it, a constant flow of information. Speaking of which, I received word from both my associates. They have resumed their investigations, thanks to you.
I only happened to be in the right place at the right time. They both seem to think the realm's prospects rather grim.
I am afraid that grim would be putting it lightly. Storm is in crisis, and if we are to free her, and we must...
As it is mine.
Seems the highway's lost its... So,
I did, and he was as helpful as ever.
and what precisely will I be cooking up? Or is it better not to...
Blueback wyvern liver. And, a herb.
Ah, wyvern livers, was it? Well, at least now then. You stay right, let's out these grand old chefs of yore. And here we have it. Fried mortress of skyworm. Ivan's offered to make sure it's fit for consumption. Well, I say offered. He as good as begged.
And rightly so. Is there any higher honour than partaking in a slice of culinary history?
So, not fit for consumption then?
What? The crackle of the crust gives way to an almost violent richness. It is a tour de force. A force of nature, even.
I think he likes...
Well, I can't quite tell with all that nonsense he's talking.
Decent. It's remarkable. Sid, might I suggest that you command a party of your finest men and...
I'll give us some...
Nothing like a dish of cold vengeance to foul the gut.
I'm sorry, Nan. I didn't mean to make things worse. I just thought I had to protect you. Like you've protected me.
Aye, well, someone had to. Your parents certainly. Reckon the both of us would be worse. You've always been me right eye, Goots. And I'd...
Well, I will. If you ever need...
Why, you big lump. Fine. Play the hero if...
Thanks, Nan.
There's nothing he wouldn't do for you.
That's as maybe. But if he's ever to make his own way in life, he'll need to start looking out for it. Till then, he'll need people to watch his back. Just like...
Of course.
Stop it. You make me one good eye, mister. I don't go thinking that'll do you any favours. A potion today'll cost you the same as it did.
Sorry for the wait, but hopefully he'll agree it was worth...
You learned something about us.
I did better than that. A wet stop? Yes. but not...
No wonder I couldn't get the same finish. One hit and all done, eh? Might not be so bad if all you ever fought were duels. Good luck on the battlefield. Your second opponent would be your last, no matter how good you were.
Even so, is there some way it could be used to give the
I think so, yeah. With this whetstone and the right kind of steel, I could probably even make it, but there'd be no replacing this little rock once I worn it down to a sliver. Swords that the curse breakers wouldn't know how to wield properly, and that would see them through a sink. Nah, no point trying to copy that thing. Be about as much use as a wax anvil. But finishing our blades with a whetstone this, and what's finer than fallen masonry, eh? Or more hard-wearing for that. Just imagine it. Good Valesthian steel with an edge. I won't make a copy, nah. I'll make something much better.
I'm sure the curse breakers will be just...
Don't you worry. I've been working day and night since I was half your age. Hey, I owe you one. August 2. It's good to know someone's looking out for me.
You'll be happy to hear you said that.
And I'll see that my debt to you's paid. First, you come and find me when you've got the materials.
All right?
What do I owe the honor? What do you want? Anything else?
I noticed you and Torgal had gone off so... So, Molly's left up. That'll teach me for trip. All right, now we know what you're after. I can...
Speaking of which, I brought one for later.
You can, aye. In return, you can thank Tomes for...
I was just on my way.
It seems the hideaway is...
Is a storm coming soon?
Ah, Clive. Were you able to locate your quarry?
We were indeed, Lawsman.
Very good.
Lady Karen sends her thanks, by the way.
Ah. But that reminds me. Do you recall our conversation concerning Lady
About how she somehow...
Precisely that. A reasonable conclusion, I thought. The Fenrir of legend served Shiva, and while the powers attributed to him are certainly impressive, the records imply that...
What are you suggesting?
That Torgal may be the beneficiary of more than one icon's power. Consider that in addition to Lady Jill, he has served as a loyal companion to you, your brother. In short, the icons hitherto near at hand, or should I say, and that number has only grown as the realm's dominance have fallen to your sword. One can but speculate as to how all of...
He has seemed more fierce of late.
And if I am not mistaken, he will grow fiercer still. We are fortunate in...
heard the Emperor was impaled on his own.
We're all gonna die! You hear me?
All this fuss over a few dark clouds.
All right there? How's that?
I have it.
That's the stuff. And plenty of it. You're a gent. Right then. There. The Telemon Alembic.
Very impressive.
Says the man who cut down a bird.
There's no need.
Don't be. Why don't you let me take a look at that bag of yours? The one you keep your potions in. Reckon I could work.
What?
Well, we happen to have isolated a substance in our test run of the Alembic that thought we might use it to breathe new life into old boots and a... Ah, I reckon if we slap...
Well,
that's the spirit.
it certainly feels...
Right?
Thank you.
No, for supporting Mid and the rest of us. And I'm telling you...
Good. So let...
Ah, let's just get on.
Ah, I wasn't expecting you. Here you are. You earned this. Come again. I may have more for you.
Did you see that?
Lady Carrot Goad tells me you won. Would you prefer the debt was repaid in coin?
What debt? I don't recall lending any of... I may have tossed a talent, but those were donations. And you cannot...
Of course not. But one good turn deserves another. Surely you wouldn't shun the gratitude of a pauper who happened to have become a...
Oh, fine. But I'm selling it and taking what I'm owed, then you're getting the rest whether you like it or not. Where'd you even get this? A decent trader might nab a canny one, meanwhile. Might claim it were nicked from the belt of Sid the Outlaw himself. Might be I already have a... Might be you even know her. A fine continental maid whose beauty's only... You wouldn't mind, would you?
Not at all. Just be sure to tell her that it's all...
I hear you ended up delivering... Thanks to this, I sometimes wonder what I pay you for.
Speaking of which,
Oh! So you remember what's owed to you, then? Get your ass behind that disc of yours and don't get up before those ledgers are square.
I've seen that before.
Yeah. It was the only goblet Sid ever used. Either out of habit, or because the filthy sod couldn't be...
I knew so little about him.
Like most people.
Martha and the Dame both seem to have fond memories. How long did you know Sid
before he died? Back in the day, I was a purser on a trade ship. He bought passage to... forget where. We set up drinking island rum till the morning bell dragged me back to my jeep. Quit my post not long after that. On account of making a fine maiden's belly fat. But me and Sid stayed close. Promise it. That was... But the magic woke inside my son soon after his first name day.
And couldn't you and your family have...
My family wanted the monster taken away. I couldn't turn my back on him. And I couldn't for the life of me understand how they could. Luckily, it was him who stood beside me when... Him who cried for me. Him who swore he'd do everything. And he was true to his word, too. Left the Royal Army once and for all. Threw away everything he had. All to right a wrong. I knew then. He was always too clever for his own good, was Sid. Saw the world for what it really was, while the rest of us were content to go along with the lie we were shown. And it can't have been easy, bearing that burden alone. But he didn't let it stop him. He never lost faith in what he believed was right. And that gave us faith in him. Faith he'd steer us true. So I swore to myself that I'd always be right behind him, ready to catch the stubborn sod, if ever he should fall. But I couldn't even do that. Ignore me. Just the ramblings of a tired old man. Leave that lot. I'll tidy it up in a bit.
This is Sid's handwriting. Dear Otto.
I may be drunk, but I wanted you to know this place would be fucked without you. Love you, you grumpy old sod.
This note.
What about it?
Sid was right. Without you, we'd all be lost.
He should have bloody well said so then. Just once. Before he went. But then, why would he? Him, or anyone? I'd only have told him to piss off. You're wrong, though. Both of you. It was never just me keeping the hideaway afloat. It was all of us. I just shoved people in the right direction. I barely seem to be able to do that anymore.
Would you rather goat were at the helm?
Well, maybe I've got a few more years left in me.
I'm going to hold you to that, Otto.
Before you go, Sid would have wanted you to have this.
But that's...
This'll do me just fine. Thanks for the ray of sunshine. I'll see if I can't pay you back.
Already have. This is no time to ride.
Ready, girl? Fly, Ambrosia.
Orcs. Then let us be rid of them.
Don't get surrounded.
Clive. Smoke.
Is the city fallen?
The free men are still holding their own, then.
Do we have any idea where Gav and the others might be?
There's a warehouse near the docks where we agreed to meet if there was any trouble. We should hurry. Sounds like thunder.
You're late. We're starting to think you'd stumbled off a cliff.
I seem to recall that was you, Gav.
Good to see you. Any trouble on the road?
Nothing we couldn't handle.
I knew you'd come.
Is that who I think it is?
Yes.
Allow me to introduce my brother, Joshua.
Clive's told me all about you. Or even listening most of the time. Name's Midadol, but everyone calls me Mid.
My lady.
Eh?
My boy.
Uncle Byron.
It's really you. I never thought I'd see the day.
So these Akashic are being controlled?
That's what it looked like. Empty eyes, eerie blue glow. No doubt they were turned, but silent as monks, every last one of them.
Your man here speaks true, Clive. We saw more than a few in this city. They moved in ranks with a purpose, and not of their own.
Ultima's doing.
Perhaps.
What of the city? The people?
Dead, mostly.
Mostly, but not all. A handful managed to lock themselves in their villas before the Horde arrived. Some in the Merchants' District to the west, and a few others on the far bank.
If the Akashic stumble across either hiding place, a few bolted doors won't hold them for long. We need to find them. And quickly.
What do you propose?
We split into two parties. I will make for the Merchants' District, while you look to those across the river. Mind keeping an eye on my brother?
Not at all. We find the villa and try the servants' entrance.
Understood.
And what of us?
Mid, is she fit to sail?
The ship, the mithril engine could probably do with a few more tweaks.
Then you better work fast. Even if we do reach the survivors in time, they'll never make it to the hideaway on foot.
You leave that to me.
See that Mid doesn't get herself into trouble, would you?
Think I can manage that?
I'll keep him safe.
Looks like you stuck with me, Byron.
That's Lord Rossfield, you little gutter snipe!
Shall we then?
And you keep Clive safe.
Be careful. Both of you.
You too.
All right, Torgal.